Clubbing in 2025 is dead, especially if you're from Toronto. The nightlife is dead, man. If you're clubbing in 2025, what are you doing with your life? You need bigger goals and ambitions because clubbing is not what it used to be. I used to be a part-time clubber and I had more negative experiences than positive experiences. Clubbing used to be big back then and something people look forward to. It was different. People dancing to music, socializing, some taking weird drugs. I advise not to, but it was more of a vibe, you know? As years went by, people danced less and less. It was known as a place to get women before, but with bottle service coming in over the last few years, it got more and more difficult to get women, as women wanted to be in a section with whoever had the booth. So you had to basically pay. You had to basically pay up to get like the access to the woman in the clubs. I had a lot of friends who went clubbing to get women, but instead they got curved by them, got into fights, kicked out by the bouncers, some even arrested by the police. The bouncers in those clubs, real pricks, man, real dickheads. They just wanted to assert power sometimes. I swear they were worse than police. Bouncers in the club were worse than police. Police, they didn't really rough you up. They gave you attitude, they never roughed me up. They just gave me attitude on most cases, whatever, who cares. But bouncers, man, they just wanted to assert their power and let you know. So every time I hear about news about bouncers getting off, I don't feel bad. I know most of the time, it was their fault, in my opinion. Yeah, they do have to do their jobs, but they don't have to rough everyone up about it. Karma gets everyone in this life one way or the other. If you're a bouncer, just go about things the right way. But yeah, clubbing is haram for reasons. Very satanic. Clubbing is evil. Tons of people in a place of drunkenness, negative energy, low vibration. Everyone in that environment is more likely to get possessed. Everyone in the environment is just like, they're in a ritual, man. The moment I realized clubbing was a scam and questioned what I was doing in my life was the day I went clubbing sober. I was designated driver for our friend's birthday, and I never felt low vibrations ever in my life. One time you go sober, just realize it. Like drunken people everywhere, violent or seductive music, people fighting, getting angry. Clubbing is just satanic in my opinion. Imagine going to a place thinking you're gonna get women, but instead you lose money, get into fights, get high, get drunk, get home at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., state of drunkenness. You'll wake up the next day depressed. Like, what did you do with your life? What are you accomplishing in that? But when it comes to Gen Z, I do believe they're taking a smarter approach than us because they're drinking less and doing less drugs, participating in less degenerate activities. I don't know if it's because they're broke due to a lack of job opportunities in Canada or because it doesn't interest them. I don't know. But they are better than us in that. If you're clubbing every weekend, rethink your life choices, or if you get drunk every weekend, just question what you're doing in your life. Spend time building yourself, get closer to God. God will save you, repent to Him. Let go of these satanic rituals and low vibrational events. Because if you see, man, like you're just walking around, women just wanting attention, and men, they just want the women who are trying to get attention. It's like a weird game. It's a weird little cycle. It's like, why do you want to participate at this? Especially from the younger ages, if you're like 18 to 25. It's like, that's when you're not supposed to get women. That's when you're supposed to be working on yourself. So if you're out there hunting for the age of 18 to 25 for a woman, it's like, what's the point? Unless you're a trapper, unless you're one of the guys making quick money, that lifestyle comes with a lot of problems, as I mentioned before. But like, okay, I understand, you have something to show for, whatever, enjoy yourself. Your lifestyle is not going to last that long. But however, if you're from 18 to 25, you're working your jobs, you're working on yourself, you're taking the court, you want to go far in life, you want to play like as a marathon. 18 to 25 is not the age where you should be clubbing, even if you have game, even if you can get them, it's like, okay, great. But the older you get, the more options you're gonna have if you work on yourself. Because yeah, you have good game, and when you work on yourself, you'll have more you'll have more money to show for, you'll have better drip, you'll have a better social circle, you'll get more opportunities as your network grows, your connection grows. You might be a little less better in terms of your social game, in terms of picking up women, but you'll be more confident in the end, In a place like this where it's just like a naked woman all around there, that's just my opinion, man. In Toronto, the clubbing scene is dead, and all around the world is dead, like people don't really want to club anymore. The economy is getting trash. Why are you gonna go on a club, spend money? Why are you trying to get drunk every weekend and You know, you don't have money for this. You're budgeting. Like, what's the point? You know, what's the point? Maybe that's the only good reason for the economic collapse. Like, you know, the economy's down. That's the only good thing it's bringing, less degeneracy. You know, that's what it is. I'll be real with you guys. There's less degeneracy. That's the only perks, the only positives of the economy being down. But besides that, man, this is like the clubbing is too much. It's just too much. It's degenerate activities. It's satanic. It's like, you know, it's a place for like pimps and hoes. That's what they say. It's for pimps and hoes. It's for trappers, rappers, business owners that, you know, and the business owners, even them, they don't want to be around these rappers and trappers because those people they're just pure degenerates, you know. This clubbing shit is pure degeneracy.